was playing and injured sometimes and I watched, I appreciated and enjoyed him. I enjoyed working with him.
Certainly do. Well, tonight for the officials for the opening game, the referee is Ron Wicks. And handling the lines will be Ron Asselstein and Wayne Bonney.
Playing in goal for the New Jersey Devils will be Alain Chevrier, who had a 3.60 goals against average in 56 games in Fort Wayne in the International League. He was signed as a free agent this summer. In the net for the Flyers, Ellie Lindbergh, who had 65 games last year at a 3.02 goals against average, 40 wins, 17 losses, and 7 ties. And now with the play-by-play, Mark Zumoff.
All right, and here it goes. My mentor, Gene Hart, lesson number 1. Opening game of the 1985-86 season. And starting for the Devils, the front line of Kirk Muller on the left wing, along with Mark Johnson and Tim Higgins. And you can see Paul Holmgren. That'll be his duty this year. He'll be taking some instruction upstairs from E.J. McGuire. So we'll take a look at things from an X and O point of view. The defensive pairing of Craig Willenan, the #1 pick for the Devils, and Bruce Driver will be on the back line. Happy to report Tim Kerr playing tonight. Dave Poulin centering him along with Brian Propp on the left side. And we have the defensive pairing of Brad Marsh and Doug Crossman. The Flyers will be defending the goal to our right, and we are just about ready to begin hockey. 1985-86, the Flyers and the New Jersey Devils. Flyers, of course, once again in their home white, trimmed in orange and black. The Devils in their traveling red, trimmed in green and white.
I guess the Gump wants to get his goal crease ready.
That's the ritual with goaltenders. They sit there and they rough up that goal crease, but not only that, if you leave it as smooth as you start, you slide a lot further than you'd want to.
All right, the puck is dropped and the season underway, and the Flyers control. Puck goes out to the neutral ice. Brian Proppel on the near side, back to his own line, and Brad Marsh. He's tied up by several Devils along the near side. Poulin finally breaks it free. It goes to the Devil line. New Jersey controls, and they flip it to center. Now Poulin in across the New Jersey line, stood up right there. Proppel on that far side. He and Poulin scrambling for it, as play is rather ragged in these early moments. Still scrambling right at the Devil line along the far side, and finally Poulin breaks it free, and the Devils take it and clear it out into the Flyers zone. And we will not have icing. Play will continue as Lindbergh comes out and stops it behind his own net. First 40 seconds of action here live from the Spectrum. Poulin at center, flips it in, wide of Chevrier along the far side. Battling for it there is Bruce Driver, the defenseman. It's kept in along the far side, however, by Crossman. In the slot it goes for Kerr, and a nice play by Torella. Kerr, and the puck is loose. And it's finally sat on there by Chevrier as it went underneath Torella. There was Kerr on the doorstep looking for the first goal of the season.
New Jersey has a number of players still on their National League roster, and a lot of them can't play tonight. Anderson, Billington, Stanienko, Heimer, Hoffmeyer, Russell, Belichick, and Verbeek. Belichick just coming over from the Minnesota North Stars in that waiver draft at the beginning of the week. Flyers without 3 players. Lenny Hackmore, Jerry Smith, and Ron Sutter. Smith out with a bad wrist, Sutter with a pulled muscle in his hip, and Hackmore due to the numbers.
Face off deep in the Devil zone. Howe with a shot, and that hit the post, I believe, along the near side as it got by Chevrier. Puck loose along the near side corner. Patterson in there with a couple of Devils along with newcomer Peter McNabb. They all combined to freeze it up, and we'll have a face-off once again near side to the right of rookie goaltender Alain Chevrier.
McNabb's had many fine seasons with Boston and also with Buffalo, but Howe is known for that quick release, that quick shot. He got it off and had it by the goaltender Chevrier going off the goalpost. So McNabb's a big guy, a big center iceman who's known for his goal-scoring ability.
New line out there now for New Jersey. Aaron Broughton is going to be centering Doug Sullivan along with John McLean. On defense, Dave Pichette and Bob Lormer. Puck on the faceoff, back to the point. Howe in the Jersey zone. A shot is blocked in front. Rebound, score! And I believe Ukta Sinicello on the rebound for the first goal of the year. It comes a minute 11 into this first period. Flyers lead it 1-0.
Face-offs are so important, no matter if they're in April or if they're in October. Howe takes that draw after it was won cleanly by the Flyers, Peter Zezel. Then Sinicello with that quick shot on the rebound, and I don't believe Chevrier had a pretty good look at it. He had a tough time as he not only had Peter Zezel, but also Neil Broughton And then quickly, Ginnicello with a little wrist shot beats Chevrier underneath the pads. And it's a 1-0 Flyer lead.
The first goal of the season, and the Flyers try to put some more pressure on here early. Puck is in the Devils' zone to our left. Craven in that far corner has the puck taken away by the Devils. Greg Adams in New Jersey comes to center. Now the puck in the Flyers' zone. Scrambling back to get it to Thomas Eriksson, who is out there now on defense. And I believe we have a whistle and a penalty coming up against the Flyers. With a break in the action, 18:27 to go, first period. Flyers 1, Devils nothing. Back with the Jersey power play in a moment.
Hospodar will pick up a 2-minute minor as the Devils are trying to get by along the board. He just straightens him up and just grabs a hold of him. And he picks up a 2-minute minor for interference. And as a result, the New Jersey Devils will have a power play opportunity. Time of that penalty is 1 minute and 33 seconds. So Hospodar, 2 minutes for interference. Power play opportunity, New Jersey Devils.
Well, the Devils have out there their own version, I guess, of Tim Kerr and Peter McNabb. He is out there along with Kurt Muller and Tim Higgins. And we have a whistle as they face off just to the right of Pelle Lindbergh to our right. Out there killing penalties up front, Brian Propp and Dave Poulin for the Flyers. Brad Marsh also back there, and it looks like Doug Crossman. They scramble, Devils control. Out in front, shot tipped away by Lindbergh as he deflected that shot from the blue line by Bruce Driver. Puck now back to the point. Driver has it near side for Muller, right faceoff circle. Out in front, McNabb shot, rebound, another shot. And there's Lindbergh holding his ground along the near side post, and he kept McNabb from tying it at 1. Devils now controlled to our right. Behind is McNabb, triggers, and there is Marsh banging him against the boards. Poulin has it, and now the Flyers control in their own zone. They're going to clear it out to center. Poulin with 1.5 minutes to go in the penalty. Let's see what he does. And across the line, there's Poulin tripped. No penalty called. Devils control in their own zone. They'll look to break out. Coming at center, Tim Higgins. And across the line, looks to drop it. Now has Muller along the near side right faceoff circle. And we have a whistle, and perhaps a hand pass. They're going to face it off now just outside the Flyer zone, right in neutral ice territory.
Mark Johnson, who the Devils picked up from St. Louis in the offseason, is a player they'll look to a lot on the power play. He's the player, they'll be the quarterback out there. He'll play the point position, and they'll try and set him up most of the time before the play is set on goal.
Bobby, a quick question for you. Your first game in the National Hockey League, they score on you in 1 minute and 11 seconds. Is it to shake the goaltender up?
You're going to be shaky as it is, but it depends. A lot of times goaltenders, as soon as that puck drops, they get right into the game and it doesn't bother them, even if they get scored upon.
Are you sure?
Yep. Alain Chevrier, as we're talking about, he played 4 years at the University of Miami, and according to Devil sources, he was their best goaltender in camp.
Devils this year going with 3 goaltenders. Of course, Chico Resch will be the #1 man. They also have a fellow by the name of Craig Billington. Devils control in the zone to our left with 1 minute to go in the Hospodar interference penalty. Puck comes to center. Rick Tocchet along the far side knocks it back in the Devils zone, and Sorella has to control. Crosses near side to Dave Fichette. Now they get it at the center, and here they come. Aaron Broughton across the Flyer line. His pass along the far wing broken up nicely by the Flyers' Brad McCrimmon, and they sit down to the Devils zone. 45 seconds to go. Devils with a couple of opportunities, but in the late going of this power play, the Flyer penalty killing unit doing very well. 3 minutes gone first period. Flyers up 1-0. Neutral ice they come. Now in across the line is Fichette. Nice poke check there by Markel. Descended back to center ice. Minute to go. Here come the Devils again. Sorella gets it by a couple of men held up at the left side faceoff circle. Puck now back to the point. Devils control. They cross it near side for Fichette. Near side boards for Broughton. Back to the blue line to Fichette and back to Broughton. Right side faceoff circle shot deflected out in front. Puck loose. Follow-up backhander is a scramble, and it comes out along the near side corner out of harm's way, and the Flyers take it and shoot at the center, and Joe Patterson finishes it off and ices it all the way down, and the penalty expires to Hospodar. Teams at full strength. Flyers up 1-0. New Jersey with control now. Along the near side coming up is Greg Adams. He comes in across the line. It's a 3-on-3. A shot hits Brad Marshall on the near side. Puck is loose, and Peter Zezel picks it up along the far side and flies at center. Hits Patterson at the Devil line, but the play is offside, and they'll bring it back to neutral ice and face it off once again.
That puck just was deflected by the New Jersey defenseman on that side, Bobby Lorimer, who put it up into the Bears bunch. But one thing, watching the team during preseason, if it's possible, they seem a lot faster. And I'm talking about the Flyers. They're stronger. And
I was just thinking the same thing. Just watching them here in the first almost 4 minutes, that they're really motoring for the first game of the season.
They were flying their last 2 games in preseason, and especially the last game against Washington. They just toyed with them.
And the newcomer, Pelle Eklund, out there for the first time. The import from Sweden, only 20 years old. He is centering Tim Kerr on the left side, Dave Brown on the right side, as the Flyers control at center ice. Crossman and Marsh, the defenseman. At center it goes for Kerr, past his stick. Bob Lorimer takes it for the Devils. Hits Greg Adams. It's neutral ice along the far side. Banged by Doug Crossman, but following up is Adams in front, and his shot is just wide to the near side. Puck is loose in the Flyer zone. Behind is Gagner. He looks to center it out, hits the skate of Crossman, and he clears it out the center, and here come the Flyers back. This is Eklund. He's got some speed. Watch him. In across for Kerr, and the one-time shot is wide to the near side. Puck is loose. Greg Adams for the Devils looks to clear it out. Good forechecking by Kerr to tie him up. Crossman tries to keep it in. Now Eklund along the far boards, helps it along the way along the far side corner. Bob Lorimer ties up a Flyer. Puck comes loose along the near side, and the Devils finally control in the name of youngster Craig Wolanin. He's checked by Brown and looks to center it out as the youngster Wolanin having some problems there, and Gagner finally gets it out the center and takes off some of the Flyer pressure. Devils now take it, flip it into the Flyer zone, and wholesale line changes for both teams with 5 minutes gone here in the first period. 1-0 Philadelphia on Anilka Sinisalo go just a little over a minute into the game. Now Rich Sutter, as we have a fresh line out there with Mary Craven out in front. The puck is loose, and the Flyers don't control. It comes back to center. Foot race between Hospodar and Pichette, and we have an offside called. 14:40 remaining. There's a break in the action. The Flyers 1, the Devils nothing.
Brad Marsh, I think, was Mr. Defense for the Flyers last year. He was really consistent as far as defensive play in his own zone, and he chipped in with a lot of big offensive plays as well. Just prior to that, coming up along the boards, the Devils going towards the Flyers net. McLean's got the puck. He just moves, takes that one move to the forehand, takes a shot just wide of the net. But it was a good opportunity as he made the move, cutting back to his forehand to give it a little bit more of the net to shoot at and to see.
Face-off now coming just outside the Flyer line to our right. Mark Johnson, the newly acquired Johnson, coming over from the St. Louis Blues. Will be taking the face-off as soon as we resume action. How do you explain to gentlemen, a fellow like Mark Johnson, a great talented player, this is his 5th team in the National Hockey League?
I know, it's hard to imagine because he's a good worker, he has a great attitude, but Pittsburgh, he never really got started. He only played about 10 games for Minnesota before going to Hartford, and then just the tail end of Hartford as St. Louis. And I think they traded him because of his salary.
Well, the Flyers control on the ensuing face-off. We have a hooking penalty at center against the Flyers, so the second New Jersey power play, check that, it's going to be a Devils penalty, and we have a Flyer power play coming up.
It'll be Joe Cirella who'll be picking up the 2-minute minor for hooking. It'll come at 5:30 of this opening period. And one thing the Flyers did pretty well in the playoffs, or pardon me, in the preseason, Eddie and Mark, is that their power play started to click near the tail end of it.
We've talked about the importance of it. When you get a penalty and a power play opportunity, you've got to click on them.
14:30 remaining here in the first period. Flyers 1, Devils nothing. On the face-off, Flyers with the power play. They have Howe and McCrimmon back on the points. Eklund is out there, along with Tim Kerr and Brian Propp. Here's Eklund now in across the line. They set up the power play. Back to the blue line it goes. McCrimmon shot through a screen, deflected over the top of the net. Back behind, they scramble for it. Kerr has it, looks to trigger down in front, and he tries to go to Howe at the top of the slot, gets by Mark. Puck goes all the way down, and Lindbergh comes all the way out of his net to try to help the Flyers set up. Minute and a half to go in the power play. First one of the game for the Flyers. They lead it 1-0. McCrimmon now at center for Kerr. for Prop, who flips it toward the Jersey line. Jersey can't get it out. Kerr has it in the slot. Shot! Kept it low, and there was the pad save by Chevrier, and the rebound swept aside, but the Flyers control. Far corner it goes to Eklund. Puck is now, or I should say the net coming off his moorings, and Ron Wicks, the referee, finally notices and calls play, and they'll set things up and face it off of the Jersey zone to our left with 1:07 to go in the power play.
Well, we talk about this big guy going to the net, and here's a good example of it. He just stops the puck, he just keeps coming, just mowing people over and going by him and getting a good opportunity, and then still pulling the defenseman off to the side as Chevrier made that save. But that's what we talk about going to the net. Timmy Kerr does it as good as anybody, and when he gets there, he doesn't need too many opportunities to beat that goaltender. The Flyers are on the power play with Chevrier making the stop on Timmy Kerr.
Minute 7 left in that man advantage. You know, one thing you might watch closely with Kerr is his conditioning. He's been off for a while since getting that virus, so he might not be able to go as long as shifts.
Kerr wins the faceoff. Point shot by McCrimmon. That one deflected, and it beat Chevrier, but couldn't find the net. Now Howell on the near side. Drops it behind for Kerr. Prop has it right wing corner. Back behind for Kerr. Has Eklund in front. Timmy all by himself. Now right faceoff circle for Prop. Point for McCrimmon. Drive is blocked in front. Rebound. Puck is loose, and there is somebody, I believe a Flyer. Is it under Tim Kerr? I think so, but at any rate, the puck is frozen, and we'll have a faceoff now in the Jersey zone to our left with 49 seconds to go in the penalty.
The Devils have a veteran crew out there killing off this penalty, so they're trying to clear that front of the net. They're doing a pretty good job of it. Wallinen, their young rookie, teamed with Dave Lewis on the defense, but it was Lewis who knocked down Kerr and enabled the young rookie Chevrier to pick up that loose puck. But anytime that puck's around the goal crease, if that defenseman can clear the man out, the goalie will be able to pick up the loose biscuit.
Peter Zezel out there now, takes the face-off and wins it. Flyers control. Erickson, near side face-off circle. Crossman, Wine, fires. Good save, near side by Chevrier. Puck is loose, and the Devils clear it all the way down. 36 seconds remaining on the power play. Flyers have Sinisalo out there now with Crossman. He brings it to the New Jersey Devil line. Backs it off, brings it off along the near side. At the blue line it goes for Hospodar. Has it go off his stick, but Sinisalo fouls up and drives it to the near side corner. But the Devils control in the name of Craig Wolanin, and he gets it out to center ice. Devils going to try to do a little ragging now with Kirk Muller out there, and they control back to the veteran Dave Lewis, and he ices it all the way down. So that'll pretty much kill this Flyer power play with only 8 seconds to go before Cirella returns to the ice. Flyers have it at center. Peter Zezel out there with Joe Patterson, and on that right wing side is Ilka Sinisalo. As the penalty is over, the teams are at full strength. Foot race now between Aaron Broughton and Brad Marsh. Marsh wins it, shoots it along the near side in the Flyer zone to our right. Jan Ludwig out there for the first time. His centering pass goes awry. Bob Lorimer follows it up. Now behind is Broughton. This is Ludwig behind the Flyer net. Looks for the stuffer along that far side, and Mr. Lindbergh stuck out the right pad, protected that far post, and he kept Ludwig from doing any damage. But in the meantime, we have Rick Tocchet and Aaron Broughton and a few others greeting behind the Flyer net to our right.
One thing you have to do is if that player is snapping away at your goaltender, you got to get him out of there in a hurry, because that puck can be dislodged rather easily, especially when he's trying to use the goal as a leverage.
Erickson stood back a little bit too long, Bobby, as he allowed the winger to come right around with the puck and jam away at Kelly Lindbergh on the short side. He should have moved on him quicker. That's 3 whacks at it. The 4th one, by the time he gets there, when he's there, you've got to be there to meet him and welcome and greet him. And that's exactly what Tocchet did. He said hello, and he knocked him back against the boards. That's what you've got to do.
All right, face-off now in the Flyer zone to the right of goaltender Pelle Lindbergh. Broughton on the face-off along with Poulin. The Flyers win it. They come to center. Craven is joined by Tocchet. And Craven taken off nicely by the Devils. Puck is loose in the New Jersey zone along the near side. Aaron Broughton going at it along with Poulin and Tocchet. Now a 4th man joins the fray. That's Bob Lorimer, and he brings it to center for New Jersey. 2-on-2 along the near side. Jan Ludwig goes in against Marsh, and Ludwig takes care of himself as he trips and falls, and Marsh controls along the far side. With some help from Tocchet, it comes to center. Poulin at center. Dumps it into the Jersey zone along the near side, hits that near side corner and bounces out, and it's steered by the Devils all the way back to center ice. 11 and a half to go, first period. Flyers lead it 1-0 on an Ilka Sinisalo go at 1-11 of this game. Puck puck is dumped in behind. The fans oohing and eyeing as Chevrier there tried to stop it, had to go between his legs, but it went behind the net and out of harm's way. Now Lindsey Carson is out there along with Rich Sutter and Tim Kerr on that left wing. Doug Crossman and Mark Howe in defense for the Flyers. Peter McNabb forechecking Crossman, but Crossman sends Rich Sutter away at center. Has Carson, has Kerr, drops it for Kerr. In traffic it is. Puck is loose in the slot. Howe pokes at it, and finally the Devils take it and they clear it back to center. Dave Fischette racing along with Peter McNabb, and Fischette dumps it in behind Lindbergh to our right. Mark Howe clears it back to center. Devils control. Joe Sorella. Rich Sutter taking a run at him as the Devils bounce it into the left of Kelly Lindbergh, and Lindbergh takes it and tries to clear it. It inadvertently goes over the glass along the near side. There is a break in the action. 10:37 to go. First period. Flyers 1, Devils nothing.
One thing that Kelly Lindbergh's been working on through his practice is handling the puck and shooting that puck. That was one of his weaknesses, and he wanted to get a little bit better of it, because if that goaltender back there can handle the puck, it sure helps out that defenseman, and also can throw off a big monkey wrench into a forechecking schemes of the opposition. So Lindbergh's been working on that area of his game, getting that puck and shooting it, handling it as much as possible during practices.
Off now in Flyers zone to our right, to the left of Kelly Lindbergh. Peter Zezel taking it against Greg Adams. And the Flyers look to control. This is Adams in the slot. It goes top of the shot. Slot intended for McLean, but the loose puck is taken by Brad Marsh, and he clears it out the center. Devils look to control. They trail it 1-0. Along the far side is Greg Adams, run into by the Flyers. Puck comes loose. We have a 2-on-2. Sinisalo joined by Patterson. Ilka run nicely into the far side boards by the youngster Wolanin, but the Flyers control anyway. Puck now deep in the zone, the Jersey zone to our left. It goes behind Chevrier, tying it up a couple of players. One of them the youngster Wolanin, the other one Ilka Sinisalo, and we have a face-off coming up in the Jersey zone to the left of Alain Chevrier.
Ilka Sinisalo, the Flyers goal scorer, the first goal for the Flyers this year, and also the first of Ilka Sinisalo for this year. He'll score many more of them. He's probably one of the better Flyer forwards as far as one-on-one with the goaltender is concerned. He's tough to stop.
Would you say putting him on a line with Peter Zezel has helped his goal scoring?
It sure seems to. Last year he seemed to really produce a lot more when he played with Zezel, and I think is that Zezel's able to get him the puck more.
Flyers control the face-off of the Jersey zone, but the shot by Howe is blocked, and back come the Devils. At the line, this is Tim Higgins into the Flyers zone they go. Back behind is Muller. He goes for it along with McCrimmon, but the Flyers nicely control on the far side. We have a 2-on-2, make it 3-on-3. Pull in. He's got Tocchet in the slot. There it is for Tocchet, and it went right off a stick in behind the Jersey net, not in the goal. New Jersey comes back. This is Kirk Muller, the second-year player, the #1 draft pick. He is joined in the zone by Mark Johnson, but a nice check there by the Flyers to take it away. They control. Mark Howe quickly goes out the center for Tocchet, who flips it into the New Jersey zone to our left. Jan Ludwig gets the rebound along the near side, tries to send it out to the line. Puck kept in by the Flyers. Tocchet is tied up behind the net as the puck now goes to the far side in the New Jersey zone. Hospodar there tying up Kirk Muller, and they both combine there to freeze it up in the New Jersey zone. There'll be a face-off to our left with 9:14 to go.
Well, that's a timing play by Hospodar. He moved in. He anticipated the play. As the play was made around the boards to Muller, Hospodar is known for his physical style of play. Moved right in, and by the time the puck arrived, Hospodar was there waiting for the winger as well as for the puck, and took him into the boards. This is, we talk about anticipation. You can tell the play's coming around. Puck comes around. By the time it gets there, hello, Mr. Hospodar is there to greet the puck as well as the Devil winger.
Ed Hospodar, just a good old fellow when he's got the uniform off. But when he's got it on, look out. He is back there on defense now with Thomas Eriksson. The Flyers have out there Murray Craven, and taking the face-off is going to be Kelly Eklund. Out there on the other wing is Dave Brown. Puck is loose. Devils control behind their own net to the left. They try to help it along the way along the near side and get it out the center, and they do. Getting it is Eklund. Tries to get it out of the zone. It's in the Flyers zone, and now it comes to neutral ice. Bichette chases back at his own zone. He is joined by Sorella. Forecheck by Brown. They go out the center as the Flyers are doing some nice checking of their own. Now here comes Jan Ludwig into the zone. A shot is taken there by Aaron Broughton. It's blocked up top by the Flyers. Back comes Craven. He is joined by Hospodar, but there is Eddie just astride inside the blue line and offside. 8:44 to go, first period. There's a break in the action. Flyers 1, Devils nothing.
Bobby Froese not starting tonight's game. He had a very good camp, though. He's fully recovered from the rash of injuries he had last year. He had a lot of little injuries, a nagging one. I guess the most serious one was the one to his knee where he couldn't really push off and move as freely as he wanted to in the net. But he's very, very strong this year. He's even on a new diet, Eddie. Maybe you should talk to him.
I don't want to be strong. I'd rather be good looking.
Neutral ice face-off, controlled by the Devils in their own zone to our left. They get it out to center. Taken there by Eklund, who is still out there with Craven and Brown. Now, Craven carries in, but his line mate Dave Brown was just offside, and they'll bring it back to neutral ice and face it off.
You know, one thing that you find with the Devils right now, they don't have an awful lot of scoring power, and you watched that last year, but they really play a close checking style, and if it's a close game, they're into it right to the end. They really have trouble if they ever get down 2 and 3 goals because they don't have the power to come back. Mel Bridgman, the captain, not the new one, still the captain, he'll be our guest in the second intermission.
And with the acquisition of Peter McNabb, Bridgman playing a wing on the line with McNabb. Also out there now is Tim Higgins. Puck in the Flyer zone, steered behind nicely by Lindbergh. Puck goes to the far wing corner where it's taken by Marsh, and he shoots it all the way down to the New Jersey line. Devils control there. They get it out to center. Goes through a maze of players, back weakly into the Flyer zone to our right, where Doug Crossman corrals it and goes behind. Just over 8 minutes to go, first period, an Ilka Sinisalo goal, the only goal of the game. Flyers lead it 1-0. They break out, they send Kerr away at center, it's just onside. He dumps it into the New Jersey zone to our left. Far side is Peter McNabb, gets it out to center, the Devils control there, but the puck is loose and Brad Marsh takes it back for the Flyers. Back there along with Doug Crossman as the Devils push up a little bit, trying to gain a territorial advantage as they look to change up now. Marsh's pass along the near side goes into the Flyer bench, and we'll have a face-off now just outside the Flyer zone in neutral ice territory.
Marsh, one of the 6 defensemen the Flyers kept after sending youngsters Greg Smith and Jeff Chikrin back to junior, and then sending the veterans Kevin McCarthy and Dave Parrish to Hershey. All 4 of them had excellent training camps. McCarthy and Parrish played very well. It's amazing, you know, what decides who stays up and who goes down to the minor leagues. And I'll tell you, that was a decision that I sure the heck didn't want to be in on because those guys played very, very well and well enough to play here.
Greg Adams out there now for New Jersey, along with John McLean and Paul Gagne. It is Zezel, Sinisalo, and Patterson for the Flyers. Bob Lormer, one of the defensive pair out there for New Jersey, gets it to center, goes through everybody, puck all the way down. We'll have an icing as soon as Brad McCrimmon touches up behind the net.
Well, Bob, you touched on the Jersey Devils, and I'll tell you they're keeping themselves in the game with nothing but hard work right now. The Flyers are out shooting them 6-5, and they had the scoreboard. The Devils are right there. Brad McCrimmon, it's nice to have him back. He missed the finals last year with the badly separated shoulder, but I understand he's back and in great shape, and he's one of the premier defensemen on the Flyers as well as in the league.
Faceoff now will come in the New Jersey zone to our left. It'll be to the right of rookie goaltender Alain Chevrier. Peter Zezel will take it against Greg Adams. Ron Asselstein, the linesman. Zezel wins it back to Howe at the point, near side. His shot is blocked and all the way to center ice by McLean. Defensive partner Brad McCrimmon takes it back for the Flyers. And they will set up at center. Peter Zezel on the far side has it taken off. Puck is loose. There it is, a shot! Right out in front by Greg Adams from the top of the slot. There was Mr. Lindbergh coming up off his line to make the save. There's a break in the action. 7:08 to go. First period, Flyers 1, New Jersey 0.
Greg Adams got a good shot away, and again, diligent forechecking on the part of the Devils to set up that play. Peter Zezel trying to get a little bit cute, get around John McLean. He just stepped in, fed it over to Adams, and got the good shot away. And Adams is just starting his first full year in the National League, and he might have been able to take a couple more strides and got a better angle off on it, but when you get that puck and wide open, you want to hurry that shot because those defense close on you very quickly.